Bleepers. Hello. Hi, everybody. I don't know who's here, but people here and in the future, greetings and welcome to my Hangout. I'm gonna make sure it's working and make sure my thing plugged back in. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Oh my gosh. There are so many things happening in the chat. Let's... Oh, and I sound great. Awesome. And there are people here. Okay, let me get the chat window there. And then this window here. And hi, everybody. We've got the Calipar. We got GevMage, the Calipar. Are you Angelo Galucci? Who are you? Kragould. Daniel Naruda. Hi, everybody. I am Angela. You know that because you back my Patreon. I didn't put my hair down. I meant to. And I would love to know who you are. I am so excited to be here. I'm going to start just kind of chatting about what's up with me. And oh, okay, great. And I am going to answer the questions that people submitted on Patreon and play a couple songs that were suggested. But if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, please do that. This is fun. This is the first time I'm doing this. So please feel free to give as much feedback as possible. Let me know that you can hear me and that everything is good. Okay, cool. So yes, I live in Los Angeles now, which is very exciting. We moved here at the very beginning of August. We had to move out of our apartment July 31st. And we drove down here and then we did a little bit of stuff. My husband and I is who we is. And the Double Clicks did a little tour. And now I'm back in Los Angeles. And I have been really, really busy. This last couple weeks, last couple weeks, have sort of felt like the first time I'm actually doing what I want to do here. But I would love to talk more about what I'm doing because you asked those questions. So let's just do it. All right, everybody. Just for me to get an idea of what the lag is like. When you hear this message, please drop me an emoji in the chat. I'm going to start answering questions, asking myself questions, and then answering them. Rachel Bedell asks, I would love to hear about whatever project you are currently working on that is bringing you the most joy. I have been working on a lot of stuff. There's the emojis. There we go. Okay, that's good to know. I have been doing a lot of writing. I finally got myself a notebook, and I'm already just filling it the hell up with stuff. My goal is to be writing comedy stuff. I also want to do more music things and learn more and expand the possibilities of my music. But I guess the project that is bringing me the most joy at this moment is probably... It's hard. I do a podcast called So What Do We Do with my friend Storm, and that is awesome because it's like the one thing that I'm actually getting out on a weekly basis and getting the feedback from. I think it's pretty clear that I really like immediate feedback. And I don't like working on a project that takes a long time and nobody ever sees, which is another thing I'm doing with a couple screenplays. Screenplays. So yeah, I think So What Do We Do podcast with Storm. Also, Storm is great. That is fun. Thank you, Rachel, for your question. I'm sorry I'm not coherent. Let me just tell you all the stuff I'm working on. I have that So What Do We Do podcast. Thanks to the Patreon backers, I have Gosh Darn Fiasco is back, which is my gaming podcast. And then we also have a Double Clicks music video that I'm currently collecting videos for called Wrong About Gender. I am writing a pilot right now about a middle-aged woman superhero who nobody can see even though she's not invisible. I'm really proud of that. And that is a thing I'm working on in my writers group, which is some people I met in a writing class. I'm also developing a TV show based on the Double Clicks with like a real studio. or a production company, not a studio. That's the kind of thing that may never come together, but it has involved a lot of drafts of a screenplay that is semi-musical, and is sort of the first big project that I put together. And so it's been a learning process of learning how to screenwrite while working with people who actually know what they do. And I really think it would be awesome if it came together. It's the show would be about Aubrey and I and our lives in Portland and trying to figure out how to be ourselves and how to be confident and how to deal with internet haters and bad relationships and all of that. And also there are lots of cats. So I'm excited about that show, but maybe it will never, like that is just a really, really slow process to make that happen. I'm also writing on a sketch show in LA called the Sunday Sketch Show this month, which I just got notes back on my first sketches, and I'm really excited about that. If anybody's in LA, I'm going to be tweeting about it, but I'm also hoping to take videos. This is the first time I've written comedy that people other than me will be performing without scripts. I've done a lot of sketch writing in various ways, like Catty Bees and the Double Clicks Variety Show in Portland, but those are all either on book or I was involved. And I've also done stuff for Nerd Night Out, just various things. But this is exciting because it's real actors who didn't write it. I hope that my scripts get in, and I hope there's not a guarantee of that. And I hope that it is satisfying and not soul-crushing. I'm going to play a song now because I am getting really weirded out at the sound of my own voice without any feedback. A few of you requested songs. I am really excited about them. What am I going to start with? I guess I'll start with this one, which was Angelo, I believe, requested. Yes, requested a few different songs. I'm not like amazing at playing instruments, by the way. Special message to people who requested things like Stairway to Heaven. I'm not good at it. But I'm happy to play stuff or mess around, and it's fun to know what you would like to hear. So this is a request by Angela Glucci. Okay. Ooh. It is not improvisational. Okay, Craig asked, how do you write scripts for improvisational comedy? It's not improvisational comedy, it's sketch comedy, which is scripted. Yes, improvisational comedy is not scripted. Those are opposite. But I mean, like there are movies like Ghostbusters and stuff that have a lot of improvisational elements, but they still have a script. But the stuff that I've been writing has been sketch comedy. Yeah. Woohoo! This is a really directional microphone, so I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to hear my ukulele. Her name is Yoshimi. She's a black belt in karate, working for the city. She has to discipline her body, 'cause she knows that it's demanding to defeat those evil machines. I know she can beat them. Oh, Yoshimi, they don't believe me. But you won't let those robots defeat me. Yoshimi, they don't believe me. But you won't let those robots eat me. Those evil-natured robots, they're programmed to destroy us. She's gotta be strong to fight them. So she's taking lots of vitamins, 'cause she knows that it'd be tragic if those evil robots win. I know she can beat them. Oh, Yoshimi, they don't believe me. But you won't let those robots defeat me. Yoshimi, they don't believe me. But you won't let those robots see me. Yoshimi, they don't believe me. But you won't let those robots defeat me. Yoshimi, they don't believe me. But you won't let those robots eat me. Yoshimi. That was fun. I like that song. That's a good Flaming Lips song. Thank you, Angelo. I appreciate the request. Boy, life is exciting these days, isn't it? Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. I've been on so many podcasts since I got here. This is one of the things that's exciting about Los Angeles, is that everybody who has a podcast is here. But I don't know what the goal of being on a podcast is. I mean, it's to entertain people. It's fun. It feels like in some ways not constructive, but in the other ways, I enjoy it, and it's a cool way to meet people and network. Los Angeles is super weird with networking. We keep going places, and there are times when we'll go somewhere and people will just immediately be like, what do you want to do? Oh, I can help you with that thing, which is nice. It feels weird. It feels like a strange thing coming from Portland, where everybody's just like, I don't know. What are we going to do? I don't know. And here, I think everybody realizes that everybody else is trying to make stuff. And there's like the cynical way to look at it, where like, everybody just wants something from you, and that's the only reason they give you stuff, and everybody's fake, and that. I don't see it as much of that, but maybe I'm not in it far enough yet. But I really have seen, I think everybody realizes that anybody at any time could make it, and that we all want to know each other and know good people so that we can all work with good people all the time. I think that's the goal. We wrote, Joseph Scrimshaw and I are writing the President Snakes musical, and we really want to shoot it, and we have ideas, but I'd love it to be like this big, beautiful thing. But at the same time, making a big, beautiful thing is expensive, and also you never, like, I don't know people who are cinematographers in Los Angeles who do the kind of thing that I want to do, or sound people, or puppeteers, and like all of these things that we need. So that's a lot of being here, is trying to meet people. And I haven't been doing, this is very close to you, I'm sorry, enough. I haven't been doing enough meeting people, but I think the sketch show I'm working on, and then we're trying, I know I've been talking about this endlessly, but to get an apartment closer to town. We're on track. We were planning to be staying with our friend for 2 months, and get a place October 1st. We also both hoped that we would be closer to getting steady jobs. But ideally, we will get an apartment soon, and then we will be closer to the theaters and the comedy people and the stuff that we want to do. So, yeah. Okay. I'm getting more energized. Thank you for being here, everybody. I'm going to drink a little bit of my coffee and then answer some more questions. Craig has a bunch of questions I'm really excited about, because they're double clicks questions, so I know the answer. They're not about my potential future. So here's a question from Craig. What's the origin story of Max the Cat keyboard? Judging by various photos and... Okay, yes. Yep. Why are there 2 circuit bent versions? Okay, so Max the Cat keyboard, we first got my Aubrey, I don't need to say my sister Aubrey, also bandmate, saw that our cousin Millie, the little girl from the Mr. Bear video, had this meowing cat keyboard, and she really liked it and she wanted to make music with it. Aubrey has a lot of very fun, weird ideas that I'm immediately like, what? No. And then eventually realize are genius. So she wanted to do that. And then that was kind of shelved for a minute. And then we were going to PAX. Before we used to play PAX, we just go, and PAX is this giant gaming convention with just a lot of space and a lot of people. And it was the first big convention I'd gone to ever. And it was the one where I realized like, oh, this is home. This feels good. And so when we wanted to go to PAX, we weren't working there. We were doing a house concert right beforehand. And we thought it would be fun to do like a little, what Amanda Palmer calls them ninja gigs, just a little pop-up busking thing without money, and play a few of our songs and have a business card we could hand out that would have a free download for an EP, just to spread the word among people that we thought would like us. So we did that, and we decided it would be too difficult to sneak in the cello without getting noticed. And we were kind of worried that we might get kicked out or shooed out because we weren't officially allowed to be there. So we decided to get Aubrey the cat keyboard so that she could play it instead of the cello. That didn't work out that well, honestly, because the cat keyboard was really quiet. She didn't really know all of our songs on it. The cello is a pretty essential part of what we do, but it was fun. And then we had the cat keyboard. I'm trying to remember the first song that the cat keyboard was on. I think the first song that it was on live was Ironically. Hi, Dad. And Dad just joined the chat. I'm not just saying that. But live, you'd have to go back and listen, or like, I'm not sure on YouTube what the first video it was on. It was something that we would bring to shows and play when we were doing songs with tracks, or when we were doing like we didn't have anything to play, or I didn't have anything to play, so that we were still doing something with our hands. And then it immediately became a thing that people were really, really into, obviously, because it's really fun and quirky and different. And that's great. And we like cats. So it was before we even wrote a song about cats, the cat keyboard was part of our deal, because that was before, it was around the time Chainmail and Cello came out. And then we did a cover. I think the first cover we did with the cat keyboard was Doctor Who, but I could be wrong. And Aubrey got really good at making covers with cat keyboard. We used to have people play the cat keyboard on the Burrito song as special guest walk-ons. And then the cat became, my friend Carrie, my best friend Carrie, offered to circuit bend the cat because right until then we were playing it through the speaker, and that would feed back sometimes because it also has a microphone on it that would be pointed right at monitors. And so he offered to circuit bend it to add a plug-in. He gave that to me as a gift, and it was awesome. The one he gave us also had like a freak out button. You could do like a lot of weird stuff to it. And then that one gradually broke because it's a kid's toy and it's not supposed to do that. And then we got another one that did the same stuff. And then we got another one that had a little bit simpler setup that just plugs in and has a little switch to turn off the microphone. And that one is also currently broken, but they're very fun. And the cat keyboard is an amazing tool to get sound people to like us. Sound folks are pretty jaded, and they're used to kind of getting yelled at every night by different bands who blame all their problems on sound techs. And so it's usually not an immediately friendly relationship when we get to a venue. They don't know us or what we do, but if we have the cat keyboard, especially since it plugs in, they're like, it says keyboard on your stage plot, but this is a cat? What? That's pretty fun. So that is the story of Maximilian the cat keyboard. He got his name. We asked people at the first concert where we played him what his name should be, and I believe Jade Gordon said Maximilian. So that's the story of Maximilian the cat keyboard. Great question, Craig. What other questions do we have? If someone has never been to LA before, what is the one place you would tell them to see while they're there? Oh boy. I like a lot of things about LA, and I haven't been to. Yeah, I know that was a long origin story. Sorry, Craig. But now you know all of the information. Okay, so Jonathan, if you have not been to LA before, I don't know. I haven't been to all the places I want to go. There's like the Last Bookstore, which I've only seen part of, which is an amazing bookstore that also has like sculptural books and a labyrinth. We haven't been to the Getty Museum. I haven't been to LACMA. I just really like being around entertainment, and I love that if you stay in LA, you can go to $5 shows at the UCB every night and see comedy and see like big names and very talented, very funny people constantly. And that's the thing that I like most about LA. And there's really good food. You can just kind of find like a random taco place and it's super, really, really, really delicious. Coming from the Midwest and Boston, where I'm just kind of a wimp about food. So I've gotten a lot of wimpy food in the past. And all the first like Chinese and Mexican food I had was in Springfield, Missouri, which is not the best. But being here and like actually kind of getting out of my shell and exploring cuisine is really exciting. Plus, I love burritos. I love tacos and burritos so much. I don't really like most food, but I like anything with cheese on it. So it's a really good place for that. Just get burritos everywhere. What else? I don't know. Santa Monica Pier is fun. Like there's a lot of just fun stuff you can go do that's touristy but enjoyable. There are people on Santa Monica Pier who are always busking, and there are artists that are trying real hard to get their big break, which is cool. Like to see a physical manifestation of people trying to make it. And the ocean is there. I like Los Angeles a lot. I wish we didn't live so far away in the valley right now, but I've gotten better at talking about where things are in relation to streets. Okay. What are you most excited about creating this coming year? Yes, and I kind of folded this into the other question. I'm just really excited to write things and make things. I have been back on the train of writing songs. We saw Ben Folds the other night, and that just going to see live art is such an inspiration to make live art, which is super obvious. But in the past couple of years, Aubrey and I both got married, and I moved twice, and like everything has just been so busy that I have really fallen out of the creative habits that I want to have. And I'm really, really excited to be back on them. So yeah, I'm excited about a lot of things. Working with people, making comedy, making people laugh. And with that, I'm going to do the song that Jonathan Gould requested because I'm really excited about it. This is, where is it? It's right here. A song. This is the Sparks Nevada theme song. Oh yeah, I'm also semi-professional playing D&D. Angelo just said in the chat. Yeah, that was my first like paying gig in LA. Is that true? Maybe. Was this show Starter Kit that is going to be on Project Alpha, which is a Geek and Sunday project. There's just so many names of things in a row. But that was really fun, and that'll be out tomorrow. There's going to be a live watch-along party tomorrow at 3:30. And I am going to be at a writing workshop, so I'm going to, I guess, watch it earlier and then come back into the chat at that time and like write down my notes from an earlier watch of something. I don't know, but it goes live tomorrow at 6 a.m. I hope you like it. It's more tutorial-y, I think, than super funny or entertaining. Like Gosh Darn Fiasco is like kind of another end of the spectrum. But it was really cool to be on a set and to meet people, and that kind of stuff is, of course, the things that you can only do in Los Angeles. So I was really excited to do that, and I really, really hope that Geek and Sundry asks me back to do other stuff. I really like what they do, and I love just the constant creation of stuff that they have. Just like there's always shows happening every day, and they used gaming and comedy together really well. I'm hopefully gonna be part of more of that in the future. I don't have anything coming up with Geek and Sundry, but maybe after this one, everybody talks about how great I am constantly on Twitter. I don't know. Okay, so this is a song from the Thrilling Adventure Hour podcast. It's a theme song for Sparks Nevada that Mark Evan Jackson sings because he plays Sparks Nevada. If you haven't listened to the Thrilling Adventure Hour podcast, it is a radio play. It's a stage show in the style of an old-time radio drama, and it's incredible. And Sparks Nevada is a marshal on Mars, and it's another project that kind of came about of people like of Ben Acker and Ben Blacker, these writers who were just like, we are writing all these things, but we don't actually ever get to see them come to life, which is a super common thing in Hollywood. Like, even if you get paid for a script, it may never be real. So they got their friends together to read out loud their stuff, and then it turned into a stage show, and then it turned into a podcast. And I think that's a really cool story. And also, I love the music. So here is that song. When there's all right, hold on, it's really low, let me get it. There's varmints need a catching. When there's varmints need a catching, and young'uns need a saving, on my rocket steed I race across the stars, for I've sworn by the burrs of my astro spurs to right the outlaw wrongs on Mars. Yes, he rights the outlaw wrongs on Mars. This feels low. I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, the hyper cattle's run, and the margins savage drumming are as beautiful as comet bugs and jars. Oh, I'm from Earth, but I write the outlaw wrongs on Mars. Yes, he writes the outlaw wrongs on Mars. On the plains of the red planet, I uphold the law, and I do it with a pair of robot fists. Evil extermination I have faced, 'cause my robot rogues, they hardly ever miss. And I reckon I'll be riding in the name of truth and justice for as long as I can count the shooting stars. For I've sworn by the burrs of my astro spurs to right the outlaw wrongs on Mars. Yes, he writes the outlaw wrongs on Mars. And I'm from Earth. I think I played it with a capo before. It sounded really good in a different key. But I really, really, really love that song. I'm going to try it again later and post it on the internet so you can see in a different key that song. Was it that one? Welcome to my first draft live, everybody. This is an exciting time. I didn't even say pow. Okay, hold on. I'm going to do that again. That deserves another take. I'm going to just say pow. On the plains, yep. On the plains of the red planet, I uphold the law, and I do it with a pair of robot fists. Pow! That's the part you missed from that. Okay, thanks, everybody. Let's see what other questions I have. If anybody has any questions or just things they want to talk about, I would love to hear about what y'all are up to or into these days as well, because you are some of my favorite people, and I'm really happy that we're all making this stuff together. Oh, I have more questions from Craig Steffen. I forgot. Okay, let's go to this, but feel free to leave more questions in the chat. What's the origins? Nope, I already did that one. I know you've worked in or socialized with some famous people. Have you ever received a phone call from someone fairly well known and you were mouthing, "Oh my God, it's blank," to the people you were with? I like this question. I don't get a lot of phone calls. I remember one time getting a phone call from Paul Saborin, and I think I thought he was booking us for the Joko cruise. This is Paul from Paul and Storm. And I don't know that he was actually booking us for the JoCo cruise at that moment, but he did eventually book us. That's the most exciting phone call I can think of. Other times, I remember I walked out of a bathroom at Wootstock directly into a green room, and Paul Saporin, ambushed me and introduced me to Neil Gaiman, which was awesome. Probably the most exciting email I have gotten in my life, celebrity-wise, was when we were asked to open for Amanda Palmer when she came to Portland. And then when we were asked if we wanted to play our cover of the Jeep song with Amanda Palmer by Her People, which I found out a couple years later was the doing of my friend Carrie of the circuit keyboard, the cat keyboard circuit bending fame. That was really awesome. Amanda Palmer that was just a musical, amazing thing. Obviously, working with Jonathan Colton has also been rad. And we have been able to open for him a couple times, which is sort of like the big compliment in music. I less like just meeting people, and more like being able to do my art for them so that they at very least know our best. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Stephen Weber asks, how are burritos different in LA than Portland? They're that's a good question. I think they are more authentic here, which feels like a weird thing for me to say, but I think there's just a lot of amazing variety and flavor of all kinds of food here. They're also smaller, I think. I guess it's like San Francisco burritos are like giant, and maybe also San Diego, and that's not necessarily the case in LA. And I think in Portland, burritos are maybe more like San Francisco. I've heard a lot of people like talk about this at length, and that is the information I've absorbed, but that may not be true. Also, every brunch place here, or like breakfast place or cafe, has an amazing vegetarian or vegan breakfast burrito, which is like my favorite food. This is me turning into my best self right there. I love chorizo. I love things that have flavor even once I remove all of the stuff I don't like out of them, which is a lot of stuff because I don't eat meat and I don't like cilantro and I don't like onions. But things that still taste good once all of my pickiness has been removed is a thing I appreciate. Thank you, chorizo, for making my life better. Another question from Craig. You have spent a lot of time on the road. Please tell us about life on the road from your point of view. Presumably it's long and hard, but what are the gems of experience within it? People, playing for kids, going to a new town and finding people who know the words to our songs. It's probably the best part. Yeah. What music do you listen to? Let's see. Last time we went on a big road tour, we listened to Hamilton a lot. Generally, we've tried to listen to podcasts. There's something stressful about listening to people talking in the car to me, because I really, really, really can't multitask. I can't like walk into a room where a TV is on. It gets me really distracted. So we don't listen to podcasts as much. If we do, we listen in headphones. This last tour we were listening, was it Kesha's album? Yeah, Kesha's album. What do you talk about with your tour mates, bandmates? Sometimes we talk. A lot of times there's silence, because if you spend 24 hours a day with somebody, you run out of stuff to talk about after a couple of years. Do you play I Spy games while driving? When we used to tour with Molly, she would yell the names of food of animals that she saw out the window, like cow or sheep, llamas. That was fun. Yeah, it's less quirky and adventurous to be on a road trip at 29 than it was when we were little. So it's more just trying to pass the time, trying to be as productive as possible, trying to save our energy and our voices. And yeah, try not to get sick. Make sure we eat on time so we don't get really mad. we will perfectly understand if you leave out the summer 2016 tour out for obvious reasons. Summer 2016 tour was great. So I'm not really sure what that means, but I mean, I guess we got really sick, or I got really sick. But yeah, Kickstarter for a tour bus. Yeah, no kidding. I just watched a movie called Country Strong, which is about, it's a weird movie, but they have a tour bus and they have tour vans. If it was possible to do a tour on a tour bus or where neither of us had to drive, the whole world would be better in so many ways, but it is real expensive. And tours don't make that much money. So touring is a lot of work. And if we're not making money on it, it's hard to justify it. I mean, it's fun to do and it's really good to do the shows. But it's weird. The cost benefit on it is weird because it reminds me why we do what we do. And it's really, really nice. But it's also just hard. Like, it's not all good. It's definitely work. So yeah, but I think the thing that makes it good is scale. Like when you are playing for 200 people, it's a lot easier to break even than when you're playing for 40. And I really like playing for 40 people and I love it, but it's staying on a couch every night. It's just not quite worth it for us anymore. So it gets expensive. Hopefully I'll get this Double Clicks TV show and then we'll get so famous that we can play large places and have a tour van. That would be awesome. I would love it very much. Boop-a-doo. Anybody have good recipes? I need to eat food. I'm really bad at eating food. That has been my biggest conflict right now, is that we have no structure in our lives at all. So that's tough. I recommend structure to you because it keeps you from finding out that you're hungry when it is far too late. All right. I am going to play this other song. Craig Steffen requested a bunch of songs. You said anything by a pretzel. I want your pretzel recipe. That is a long time. Maybe I can listen to my podcast or something. I listened to a podcast today and folded my laundry. I'm so happy. My laundry is folded now. It has not been folded since I got back from tour, which was like 3 weeks ago. We don't have a dresser. What is Sunbasket, Rachel? That sounds really good. Is it one of those food services? Rachel, I need to just get more snacks. You are so good at snacks. I listened to My Brother and Me today. My Brother and Me is a really great podcast. I got into it through their show, which was on CISO, which is now on another website. And it's just three brothers being positive and nice to each other. And I guess they started out kind of young and problematic, but they're, I think, better now. And they bring me a lot of joy when I listen to them alone. Sunbasket, a meal delivery thing. I'm going to look that up, Rachel. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to play another song. Craig requested a bunch of songs. A lot of them were folk music, like old school folk music, which is awesome. And then also the MASH theme, which I'm not going to play for trigger warning reasons, and Stairway to Heaven, which I can't play because I'm not that good at instruments and I've never practiced. My dad can tell you. But I will play a Paul Simon song. You said any Simon and Garfunkel song, and this is not that. So I'm not even remotely giving you what you want. But this is a song that I like, so I'm going to play it. Here we go. Man walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle when the rest of my life is so hard? I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot at redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Bone digger, bone digger. Dogs in the moonlight, far away from my wet lit door. Mr. Beer Belly, get those mutts away from me. I don't find this stuff amusing anymore. Will you be my bodyguard? I can be your long lost pal. I can call you Betty. Betty, when you call me, you can call me Al. You can call me Al. Man walks down the street, he says, why am I Man walks down the street, he says, why am I short of attention? Got a short little span of attention. My night's so long. Where is my wife and family? What if I die here? Who will be my role model now that my role model is gone? Gone. Duck down the alley with some roly-poly little white-faced girl. All along, there were incidents and accidents. There were hints and allegations. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be a long-lost pal. I can call you Betty. Betty, when you call me, you can call me Al. You can call me Al. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. And then there's a little Chevy Chase solo. I don't really know that part. I don't play a penny whistle. Man walks down the street. It's a street in the strange world. Maybe it's the third world. Maybe it's his first time around. Doesn't speak the language. He holds no currency. He is a foreign man. He is surrounded by the sound of cattle in the marketplace, scatterlings in orphanages. He looks around and around. He sees angels in the architectures, spinning in infinity. He says, angels, hallelujah. If you'll be my bodyguard, I will be your long lost pal. I can call you Betty. Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. You can call me out. Oh, thank you for dancing. I like that song so much. That was my I learned that song first in marching band in high school. We did like a Paul Simon show was our first year, like our first show they did my first year. And we did that, and we did Still Crazy After All These Years, and we did 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And I really like Paul Simon a whole lot. I really do. Paul Simon played this twice at my very first concert in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Angela, that is an amazing story. I am so into that. Stephen Weber asks, what are your top 3 favorite types of cheese to eat on a sunny day for breakfast? Great question, Stephen Weber. While I answer this, if anybody has any final song requests or artists, I can try to do something while we're in the last 15 minutes. Favorite types of cheese. It's a good question. And honestly, I've been trying to cut back on cheese. I feel like I'm eventually going to be vegan. But I like extra sharp cheddar cheese. I like nacho cheese, like queso. I like queso so much. I've been getting chili relleno a lot recently, which is just like a nice vegetarian Mexican dish where they just stuff a pepper with cheese and deep fry it, but it's still like the main part of the meal is a pepper. So it kind of feels like you're doing a good thing, but you're not. You know? You're eating fried cheese with just like a pepper in between. But that usually has like a Colby Jack, which isn't really a breakfast. But I don't really eat a lot of breakfast. I've been eating pumpkin spice Cheerios for breakfast lately, but usually I don't. Cream cheese on a bagel. Daniel Naruto, thank you so much for being here, by the way. Jodie Whittaker, best doctor or greatest doctor? I am so excited about the new Doctor Who being a lady. So excited that I have a hair appointment scheduled to get her haircut, which is my old haircut. And I'm going to just keep doing this because I want to cosplay her. And also, I think I want to go back to that haircut anyway. And it all just goes back. Just goes back. Angelo says, Internet says 1990. So I was 11. Oh, at the Paul Simon concert. I think that may be around the age I was when I got to see Ringo Starr live in concert, which was really great. It was like this big, arena kind of show. First show that I went to of that nature. Although I went to a whole lot of concerts as a kid because my dad's a musician. And it was just awesome. And it I got drumsticks signed by Ringo Starr and immediately decided I wanted to be a drummer, which I was for a while, including in marching band when I played You Can Call Me Al. All comes together. Yes. I'm going to look up some chords right now. Yeah, let's do it. This doesn't look that hard. I can probably do this off the top of my head. I'm pretty smart. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. This Patreon is helping me a lot, like emotionally. Oh no, did my video block out? And my dad is not staying, correct. Everybody let me know if you can still see me. I'm going to make sure I can still see me. I can't tell. Okay. I'm going to continue as if people can see me. That is my thing. The internet here is a little bit sketchy, so. What were they talking about? I don't remember. How was the water in LA? Rachel asks. It's fine. It's not as good as Portland, but it's fine. Oh, now I'm blinking for myself too. I am frozen. I'm gonna try to be unfrozen. Uh-oh. All right, my whole browser's frozen. I'm gonna try to see if I don't think I can stop the thing without it crashing. Hello. Oh, now it has two of me on. That's very confusing. Hey folks, that was a technical glitch. Let me know if you can still see me. That doesn't look right. It doesn't look good. I'm gonna tell you that for free. Audio only here. I think I'm presenting video at this time. Boy, this isn't great, huh? Not the best. Okay. Is that good? Okay, we can see and hear you now. Okay, good. I'm sorry about that. That's frustrating. I apologize. I guess I opened a website that hacked the internet. Okay. How's everybody doing? Let's treatment consciousness here. Are we happy? Are we having a good time? I love you all, and I'm really excited to be here with you. Am I immediately opening up the website that crashed the browser before? Yeah, of course I am. All right, I'm gonna close it though. There we go. Yay. Thank you for doing this. This is weird. I'm not used to doing stuff by myself, but I really like doing stuff by myself. So I appreciate you being here to watch me do things by myself. And chatting with me in the chat. Yeah, what I was going to say, Patreon is really helping with peace of mind. I'm excited to make more stuff. Still kind of trying to find the direction where that's going to go, which is scary. Feeling like I'm at a beginning place when I felt like I was not as much a beginner anymore before. But it's also feels like a more sustainable direction to be trying new things and using new skills, which is good. That's boring. But that's something we all have to deal with, I think. Finding the calling that we want to do and doing all kinds of stuff so all parts of us can be satisfied. You strike me as a woman who has never been satisfied? Yeah. You know, Hamilton. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. He'd let us in, knows where we've been, in his octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see an octopus's garden with me. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. Hold on, we're gonna try a different instrument. We would be warm below the storm in our little hideaway beneath the waves, resting our head on the seabed in an octopus's garden near a cave. We would sing and dance around because we know we can't be found. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would shout on, sing about in the coral that lies beneath the waves. Oh, what joy for every girl and boy, etc. Knowing they're happy and they're safe. Happy and they're safe. We would be so happy, you and me. No one there to tell us what to do. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden with you. In an octopus's garden with you. Boop-a-doop, boop, 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 boop. Ringo, what can't you do? Oh boy. There we go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm gonna do this again next month. I might prepare more songs. I feel like the songs were fun. Prepare more content. Try not to crash the browser. But if you have any requests or suggestions or feedback, please just send them to me anyway. You know how. Patreon messages are great. And so is everything else. I really, 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 really appreciate your support. I'm doing a whole lot of writing right now and a whole lot of songwriting and a whole lot of podcasting, and none of that makes any money. So you are making that time possible in my life. And that is something I really appreciate. I'm going to see if there's anything interesting in this book that I can tell you about. Oh, yeah. I learned a whole lot about music production yesterday. I'm doing a lot of learning as well. That's fun. And scary, but fun. So thank you so very, very much. You make a really big difference in my life. Without crowdfunding, I don't know what I would do, but I feel empowered to speak my mind and to make things because of you. So thank you so much. Did you see my Star Wars shirt? I'm all over this branding right now. Yay. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. I'm going to go on live and go to the grocery store. And then I will talk to you more next month. I will tell you updates on all the projects. Please don't tell everybody about all my secret projects that I have going on, because I feel like it's okay to tell it to 10 people on Google Hangout and probably not. But when inevitably my TV show becomes huge, you will be able to say, like, I knew about it back then. And that will make you cool. All right. So much love, everybody. I hope you have a great night. And I will say hello to Richard from all of you, since you all say that. Oh, maybe he wants to say hi. All right. This is the end. I'm going to go see if Richard wants to say hi to you real quick. But bye, everybody. Look who it is.
Oh, I could talk. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, you're talking to that.
Look at that. Oh, it's over there.
Yeah. I ruined the illusion. You can't tell. They couldn't tell before that this was our bedroom and also our office.
Oh yeah,
but now
everything.
it's all together.
Did you have the green screen up in the background?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. The green screen that shows. I'm gonna take a picture of this so later, when we have a different place.
It's just the galaxy back here. Just
woo, woo, woo. Look at all these nice people who say hi. Robin Harris says hi.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Everybody.
Yay.
They're so nice.
What are we gonna have for dinner? Have you decided?
I have not decided. Not a bit.
I'm gonna get a 2-hour pretzel recipe from somebody, but that might be too long.
Like 2 hours to eat or 2 hours to make?
2 hours to eat, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's the kind of pretzel I want.
They're probably instant pretzels that are just really chewy. Yeah, I played the music songs.
Yeah,
that's fun. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that was your after credits scene, everybody. Thank you, Richard, for tuning in, and thank you everybody else for tuning in. Bye.